So hello everyone. So today we are doing like question on the cloud computing. So like start with this one. Okay. So first of all we have to like default. So cloud. Okay. 24. Okay. So cloud computing. Okay. Interview questions. Okay. So what are the interview questions? Like okay. What are the interview questions that the interview ask? Okay. So first of all, we will bring like 15 interview question of the cloud computing from basic to immediate. So like first question that's come in our mind is that what is cloud computing? Okay, what is cloud computing? So you have to answer. Okay, and in that succession we have to answer what is cloud computing, why the organization is used. Okay, what the key benefit. Okay, and give one real world example. So three question is connected from this whole thing. Okay, we have to answer this first question. Okay, so let's answer this question. First of all, cloud computing is a delivery of computing services. Okay, so kind of cloud computing our delivery of services. So rather we are doing on this platform, we have to switch the platform, that is eraser. Okay, so let's start. Streamlab pen. Yes. Okay. Mm, so let's start where we are. Leave it, zoom it, and then start. So this is our cloud computing session. Okay. Computing session. So first of all, the question is that what is cloud? Okay, and what is the cloud? Okay. So we can say that the answer is that answer for this one is that like cloud computing is a delivery of computing. So we have to search like cloud. Okay. Mm, this is so like this cloud computing is a delivery of computer like it deliver a computing services. Okay, such as server. Okay, like server, they are serving like these are the server, storage, storage. Okay, so and server storage and network. Okay, network and software analytic thing and security over internet and software analytics. Okay, software analytics and the security. Okay, so security over the internet. So these are the feature of the cloud computing. We can say that cloud computing is a service. Cloud computing is a service that deliver the computing services that such as servers, database, network and the software analytics things and the security. Okay, over the internet. Okay, over the internet. So or organization use cloud, like the organization is like, we understand a cloud computing is a delivery of computing services that are server, database, network and the computer analytics and the security. Okay, instead of using the physical infrastructure, instead of using like we can say that instead of using cross So we can like wrong, cross, okay, instead of instead of using instead of using the physical infrastructure. Okay, an organization use cloud computing because it allows them to access the IT resources. Okay, why like industry? Okay, like these are the industries. Why these industries are using this cloud computing? So what is the benefit of using this cloud computing? Okay, the IT firm use this cloud computing to access the IT resources. What are the resources? Okay. Mm, so like these are the resources that cloud computing. So this IT firm using this cloud computing because it want to access the IT resources on demand. Okay, on demand whenever it require it, like on by purchasing and maintaining the hardware. Like because this industry use this cloud computing, so industry use cloud computing because it want to access the IT resources. So this are the IT resources. Okay, resources and resources on demand without purchasing the hardware. So okay, so instead of purchasing the hard hardware, we can say that this one, so instead of purchasing this hardware Instead of purchasing this hardware, this industry use cloud computing to access these resources, okay, cheaply. So it helped the business become more flexible. So it helped the business more flexible, okay, flexible, scalable, scalable, and more efficient, okay, most efficient, okay. So this is what cloud computing. So we can say that cloud computing is a delivery of the computing services that server, database, network, computer analytics, and security. Instead of using the like a real physical infrastructure, the enterprise or company use cloud computing to allow it access of the resources rather than buying this like actual physical hardware. Okay, so it helped to make the business more flexible, scalable, and most efficient. Okay, and what are the three questions we asked earlier that we have to answer? What is a cloud computing? Second, why organization use cloud computing? So I answer this question. And third thing is that any three key benefit of cloud computing. So we have to at least like give the like three key benefit of this one. Okay, key point. So like key point if you want like three key benefit. So like three key benefit of cloud computing. So in that case, we have to say what are the key benefit. So the key benefit is the scalability. Okay, scalable. Okay, so scalable. Okay, and three benefit is scalability. Okay, cost efficiency. Okay, this is cost effective. And third is high availability. Okay, okay. Three thing is the availability. Okay, so this means that scalable, cost effective, cost effective. Okay, if so effective, cost, so cost efficiency, we can say that efficiency. Okay, and cost efficiency, and it is like highly availability. So availability. Okay, so like three benefits. So resource can be increase or decrease on the basis. So it can be increases. Okay, like so this can be increase. Okay, it can be increase. Okay, you can see that, and can be decreases and can be decrease. So on demand. And cost efficiency mean that pay only pay only for the resource used, reducing the capital cost. So if I am using the server, so if I am using the server, okay, so like if I am using this server, okay, these are the servers, okay. So what are the, so if I am using the server, okay, if I am using the server, so I have to pay only for the, like, I only pay for this server, okay. So if it costs like kind of like $70, so I only pay $70. So it make like pay whatever you need. And availability mean that the cloud provide offer redundant infrastructure and disaster recovery capability, okay. So once the benefit include global accessibility, faster deployment, and automatic update, it improve the security, okay. And if you want to take the more, another question is that what the real world example of like cloud computing. So that is like we have to answer the real world example. So real world example is that a company. So if we say that if a company is industry, if it is available, let me see, industry, industry, okay. So I don't see any industry, house, home. So if a company is hosting a website, so if we take a website, okay, if a company hosting the website, okay, so this is the, if a company hosting this website, okay, on the Amazon, so like we have to Amazon. So if this company hosting the website on the Amazon, okay, Amazon Web Services using the E2C, okay, so it is using EC2, okay, this is using EC2, okay. So this company, we can say this company hosting this website on the Amazon using the E2C. So and S3 instead of maintaining its own data center. So also S3, that is this including this S3. So instead of maintaining its own, similarly the applications such as Google Drive and Microsoft. So similarly we can say that Google Drive. Uh, so this is the Google. Similarly the Google Drive and Google Drive, Microsoft. Okay, Google Drive, Microsoft, and and OneDrive. Okay, so OneDrive. Okay, these are the example of the cloud services. Okay, so a company hosting its website on the Amazon Web Services and using the services like E2C and S3, so maintaining its own data. Similarly, like company using like Google Drive or Microsoft services or the like OneDrive features. So these are the real world example that show that real world example. Okay, we can understand the cloud computing used in many places. So like next question, what they next question what they ask. So next question is that the difference between IaaS, as PaaS, and SaaS. So what are the difference between these three things? Okay, what is the difference between as versus PaaS versus like SaaS? Okay, so these three things we have to understand. So this one is the ideal question. This thing will be ideal question. Okay, so as what we call that, if we write like IaaS, okay, so as provide the virtualized computing resources such as server. So this as provide us what? As provide us like a server, okay. This provide us server, okay. Server storage, okay. They provide us storage, okay. Storage and networking, okay. Storage and network, storage, networking, okay. So we can say that networking, okay. And virtual machine, VM, that is VM, we can say that virtual machine. So virtual machine, so these are the virtual machine, that is this one, over the internet, over the internet. So internet, over the internet. So like, so let's connect everything. So what is the benefit of the SaaS? So SaaS provide a virtual computing resources. So these are the virtual computing resources that we need. So we can say that it provide a virtual like computing resources. Okay. So like as provide the virtual computing resources that is that are such as, so this one is server, okay. Server, like this one is storage, okay. So this one is like computing, like networking thing, okay. Networking and the virtual machine, okay. So over a internet, so this provide over the internet, okay. This over internet, and it managed by the cloud provider like physical server and storage, networking and the virtualization layer. So the managed by cloud server, what are the managed by cloud server? That is like physical storage and the networking thing and virtual layer. And what are the thing that is managed by the customer? Operating system, middleware, application and the data. So this part is the managed by, this part is managed by the cloud provider, okay. And this part is provided by the cloud, this part is like this part is provided by the cloud managers, okay. And what are the managed by managed by customer? Let's see what are things that managed by the customer. Customer only manage OS, middleware, middleware, okay, middleware, application and the data. So these things are the managed by the as, and it is a prime example of this what is the prime example, if we're talking about the prime example of what is as. So we can say that it is like AWS, AWS E2, okay. AWS E2, EC2, sorry, EC2, EC2. So AWS EC2 in example of the AS, Microsoft Azure, okay. This Microsoft Azure is the example of this one, okay. So we understand what is as AS. So what we call it, this full form of this one. So this one is the infrastructure as a server, as a services, okay, sorry, services. So we can, I stand for the infrastructure as a services, in which it contain the virtual computing resources that are managed by the cloud provider, that is server, storage, network and the virtual machines over the internet. And the thing that are managed by the customer is operating system, middleware, app and data. And the prime examples that are AWS, EC2 and the Azure. The use cases is that company want, if you're talking about the use cases, so we can say that use cases are that company want to complete control over the server, so which avoid the cost of maintaining the physical hardware. Okay, so use cases is this one. Okay. And let's move forward for the next question, that is pass. Okay. So let's discuss all the pass. Okay. So first of all, we have to we have to know the full meaning of this one. So it is a platform as a services. Okay, services. Okay. So platform as a service, pass provide a platform for the developer. So it can be platform. So platform. So we can, how can we say that? Like area. That's it. I leave it. So it basically provide a space like platform for a developer. So developer. So user. Mm, so it provide a platform for the and developer to to build, build, okay, to build something, to build, test, test, to build and what do you call? To build, test, and deploy, build, test, deploy, and manage the application and manage, manage. Okay, okay. So this like managing things. Okay. So we can say that PaaS is a platform for, it is a platform for a developer. So a platform for a developer where they can test things. They can they can build something, test that thing, deploy that thing, and manage without the underlying infrastructure. So it provided by the PaaS thing. Okay. And what are the things that is managed by the cloud provider? The thing that are managed by the cloud provider are this one. So manage by cloud provider. What are the things that is infrastructure, operating system, runtime environment, and the middleware. So these are the things that are managed by the uh, like managed by the cloud provider. And what are the things that are managed by the customer? So we can say that the things that are managed by the customer, we can say that application code. Okay, application code and the data. So in PaaS, we can say that PaaS provide a platform for the developer where they can build, test, deploy, and the manage their application without managing the underlying infrastructure. The things that are managed by the things that are managed by the things that are managed by the cloud provider, that is infrastructure, operating system, and that is runtime environment and the middleware. And the things that are like managed by the customer are the application code and the data. So when we are talking about the example, so if we see the example, so this app engines, Google App Engine. Okay. So Google App Engine is like PaaS, Azure App Services. Okay. Another thing is Azure App Services. So these are the example of this pack. Okay. So we totally understand what is IaaS. Okay. Infrastructure as a server, in which we provide a virtual computing server in which we have server, database, networking, and the virtual machine that are managed by our cloud server over the internet. And the things that are managed by the customer is operating system, middleware, app, and data. A prime example is AWS, EC2, and the Azure from the Microsoft. Okay, Microsoft Azure virtual machine. And then move to the PaaS, that is platform as a services. Okay, so platform as a services, we can see that where the developer, we provide a platform for the developer where they can build, test, and deploy and manage their application without underlying the infrastructure. The things that are managed by the cloud provider are infrastructure, operating system, runtime environment, middleware, and managed by the customer is that the application code, all the data. And if you're talking about the prime example, so Google App Engine and the Azure App Services are the prime example. So what are the use cases of the PaaS? So if you are talking about the use case of the PaaS, okay. So if we are talking about the use cases of the PaaS, developer focus on coding, okay, rather than the server management things, okay. So in which the developer basically focus on coding all these things, okay, rather than all the app management or like server management thing, okay. Now move to third thing, that is SaaS. So okay, so what is the full form of the SaaS? So like software software as a server services, okay. Okay, so like SaaS deliver a complete software application over internet, okay. Okay, so like okay, like SaaS provide a proper like software application over what web. Internet, what we call internet. So it is, what is that? So like SaaS like provide a software application over the internet, okay, and manage what the thing that are managed by the like cloud server. So the managed by cloud provider is that managed by cloud provider, everything including infrastructure, platform platforms applications, updates, okay, and the security, all things are managed by the like cloud provider. And the things that are managed by the things that are like managed by some like mm, so the things that are managed by customer. So in that case, so only application uses application uses and data entered, okay. So only like SaaS provide a software, like complete software. So we can say that complete software application, okay. So this is a complete software application over the internet, and the like cloud provider manage all the infrastructure, platform, and application update, security, and only things that are managed by the customer is the app uses and what the data uses. So this thing we can see in our day-to-day life. So the prime example is the Gmail. So this is the prime example of this one, and this Microsoft like 365, okay, like Microsoft, okay. So that is this Microsoft 365 services. So this office services, Microsoft 365 office services. This is a prime example of the SaaS, okay. SaaS SaaS like SaaS provide a complete software application over internet, which is managed by cloud provider that are infrastructure, application, app, update, security. Only things that are managed is the app users, data enter. The prime example is the Gmail and the Microsoft 365 Office. So like what are the use cases? The user access the software directly through the browser without installation. The benefit of the SaaS is that user can, so this can be copied. So in this case we can say that like user can directly use these services Gmail, Office without installing. So the all the benefits from this application directly directly used by this user. Okay, so in short we can say that so IaaS, it is known as a rent infrastructure. Okay, infrastructure. Okay, and if we are talking about PaaS from a platform, so rent platform, and if you are the SaaS, so in that case rent software. Okay, okay, so you understand everything what software as a service and platform as a service, in which user provide a platform where they can build, test, deploy, and all these things. Okay, the infrastructure they provide to user, operating system they provide, or like runtime environment, middleware they provide. So the only thing that a customer have a app code and database. Okay, like Google, like what we have this called like Google App Engine and the Azure App Services. When we are like IaaS, so in that case we can say that infrastructure, so like as provide a virtual computing resources, that is this network, virtual machine or internet, it is managed by the computer like customer. The thing that we have like middleware, app, data like AWS, EC2, Azure, these are the example. So we covered two important questions that definitely asked in interview. Okay, and the third one, let's see. Okay, so the third question is that what is virtualization and how does virtual machine differ from the physical server? Okay, okay, so virtualization, what do you mean by virtualization? This one will last question. So we can say that virtualization is a technology that allowed the multiple virtual machine to run on a single physical server by sharing the hardware resources like CPU, memory, storage, and the network. So if we copy this thing, okay, we understand that virtualization is a technique, okay, that allow the virtual machine like virtualization virtualization. So it is a technique where like is a technology that allow multiple virtual machines to run on a single physical physical server. Okay, by sharing the hardware, sharing the hardware. Okay, that hardwares are like a memory. Okay, memory, storage, network. Okay, network and all this thing. Instead of dedicating one physical machine to one operating system, virtualization need to enable the multiple operating system and application to run independently on the same hardware. Okay, the difference between the virtual machine and the physical layer is that a physical server like actual hardware machine, physical server is the actual hardware server, virtual is software based virtual computer. When physical server is uses all the hardware resource directly, but in virtual machines share hardware with the virtual like machines. Okay, the hardware cost is higher in the physical server but more cost effective in the case of virtual machine. Scaling require new hardware, but we can scale quickly in like virtual machine. Okay, so that's all. That's all for this question. So we can say that virtualization is a backbone of the cloud computing. It enables the efficient resource sharing, scalability, and cost optimization by allowing multiple virtual machines to run on a single physical server. Okay. So in next session we have to understand. Okay, why in next session? Let's cover the thing that is explain the difference between public, private, hybrid, and the multi-cloud things. Okay, think about. So what is like so so understand the thing that is I have to like answer like what is public, private, and hybrid and multi-cloud. So what are the difference between this one? So like taking the first example. Okay, so if you're talking about the like cloud, so this one is the cloud that is public. So this one is the so this one is a public cloud. A public cloud is an environment. So this is an environment where services are provided over the internet by sharing among multiple customers. So like user. Okay. So so if we see this multiple users, okay, if we see multiple users, so like public cloud is the cloud and where it provide the internet services. So if we see internet, so see internet, this one is the internet. So this public cloud environment where services are provided over internet, where service are provided over internet, okay, many services are provided over the internet and are shared to the multiple customer, and it is shared to the multiple customers. These are the customer. So this is called a private cloud. So is a prime example for this is prime example is aws. Okay, so these are the example aws. Okay, azure, microsoft azure. Okay, these are the public cloud, and this google gcp. These are the google cloud platform. These are the things. So like cloud provide the services over internet where can multiple user can access all these things. Okay, so advantage is that the low cost, easily scalable, no infrastructure maintenance. A disadvantage is that less control over the infrastructure because all are maintained by the like cloud provider. Okay, potential compliance concern of sensitive data. If a user having some sensitive data, so in that case it may face some data issue. So startup hosting web application, if some startup like this guy is a startup and they want to host some web application, they can use like any of the platform like google or maybe azure, like or like google cloud platform, all this thing. Okay, so when we are talking about the private, okay, second thing is that like second thing is a private cloud. What is private cloud? So let's see. So this is the like cloud we have in which like private. Okay, so this one is the like private cloud. So in this we see this is private cloud is dedicated to a single organization and not shared to the. Okay, okay, so in this like it is only provided to the single user. Okay, So in that case, like this cloud services is only available for the single private, not share to the other customers. So these are the, if these are the customers, okay, okay. So this feature is not, so this feature is not available to this guy and this guy. So this feature, the cloud is dedicated to only single organization. It is not shared to like a different multiple user. It can be hosted on premises by the third party providers. Okay. So it build like example, we can say that OpenStack. Okay. OpenStack. So these are the provider, that is OpenStacks. OpenStack. Okay. The enterprise internal cloud environment. So only this infrastructure can use this thing. Okay. So in this we experience the higher security. Okay. Higher security and greater control over everything, because it is not like provided by another third party things. Okay. Higher control, a better support, compliance support. But the disadvantage is it is very much higher in the cost. It require management expertise. Like these organization may be like so if you are talking about this organization, so we can say that these organization are the, like we can say that these organization will be bank, or even like this will be healthcare center. So healthcare centers, so in which they use the private cloud. So when we are talking, we are moving to the next thing, that is hybrid cloud. What is hybrid cloud? Okay. So a hybrid cloud combine both private. So it is like, so it, if we copy this thing, and this things also, if we are talking about this thing, okay. So when we are talking about the hybrid, so this is like combination of this one, okay, okay. So this is equal to hybrid cloud. So this cloud having, this is open stack. So if we don't know the meaning of this one, so we can say that it is open stack. So text open example, yes, is open stack. Okay. And if you are talking about the hybrid cloud, so hybrid cloud combine the private cloud and public cloud environment, which allowing the data's application move between them. So in that case, data's move between them. So bank store customer record in the private cloud. Okay. Like data. So if we are talking like this data, so like private cloud store like data in the, like bank data is in private cloud, and running the website, and the website that are running the website. So website that are running, so website, all these are running on the this public cloud. Okay. Okay. So bank are using this one. So the data uploaded on this private cloud, and their website is running on the like public cloud. So it provides the flexibility, better security, and sensitive workload. Okay. And like organization gradually migrating from like one premises of infrastructure to another premises of the cloud. Okay. And the multi-cloud is the last one. That is a strategy use services from the multiple cloud providers simultaneously. Like company use AWS for the computing, but Azure using for the management, and GCP used for the analytics. So we can say that these three, like these three features, where is the GCP? Okay. So like each having their own uses. Okay. So multi-cloud mean that having different uses. So if you're talking about the like AWS, so in AWS it is used for the computing. Okay. When we're talking about like Azure, so in that management. Okay. When you talk Google Cloud, so in that case, it is used for the analytics, analytics, okay, and the AI services. So like this is like case of, so this is the case of multi-cloud server, like multi-cloud thing. This is the multi-cloud, okay, where we use different cloud services for their purpose. So avoid this vendor lock. Advantage of the avoid this vendor lock, improve reliability, access to best server and different different provider. Okay. Disadvantage is that higher operational complexity require expertise across multiple platforms. Okay. These are the things. So, and the next question, what is AWS? What we are talking about AWS, EC2, S3, BPC, IAM, RDS. So we have to like we have mm, too much time. So we understand all this topic in the further classes. So we have like understand what is cloud, like why like enterprises uses, because want like some like enterprise use cloud, like use allow the uses of IT resources rather than buying the hardware's key benefits. Real world example, we see that enterprises use their website on the Amazon E2C and S3, okay, and using like many other services like Google Drives, Microsoft, all these things. Understand what is ASPAS and SAS, okay. Then after that, we understand virtualization, where like multiple virtual machine use single platform, single platform where they're sharing hardware like CPU, RAMs, all these things like memory, storage, and network, all these things. Then we understand what is public, private, and multi clouds. Okay. See you in the next lecture, and also understand more topic about cloud, all this thing. Okay. Bye bye.